5 of those tenants aren't paying, that's quite a lot of money. You're looking at 4 to 5 grand a month. So I didn't sleep a wink yesterday. Obviously I couldn't. Hey guys, it's quite late. I'm back at the apartment. We have come back from this show that I was filming out earlier on. Apologies I couldn't finish off with what I was saying before. We were being called to our seats. An amazing show. Really nice. I will ensure that I'll put a few clips after this short message. But yeah, amazing show, really nice evening. But as I was saying before, I started the day with some positive news. On Friday last week, in episode 2, click here to watch episode 2, or is it episode 3? Don't remember. Click here to watch last episode. So the positive news was the issue that we had on Friday, where we had a ceiling cave in one of our HMO properties. We actually ended up getting it fixed on the Saturday, so the team were really on the ball. They actually got a contractor out and we managed to get it fixed. So they put new plasterboard up and plastered the walls, plastered the ceiling, and we're just waiting for the ceiling to dry now, the plaster to dry, and it'll be ready for painting hopefully on Wednesday. So good news there. In terms of other things, I've had a landlord call me, message me, and annoyingly it was a message at like 2 a.m. It's really annoying. You give your phone number, your personal phone number out to clients. I tend to not do that, but for some reason this client has my personal number. It's not going to happen again. You know who you are if you're watching. Yeah, come on man, don't be calling other professionals at like 2 a.m. It's ridiculous. Don't do it. Stop it. Anyway, in terms of what this particular client needed, it was just a few queries on a recent invoice we sent them. It turned out that we did something that he did not give us approval for, and I just contacted Melissa, our property manager, who basically just forwarded an email and said, look, it actually specifically says, and she highlighted, please go ahead and use your contractor. My contractor is really slow. There you go. I guess some clients have a short-term memory problem. Anyway, in other news, we have 2 rooms available now. So over the weekend, it's actually happened very late on Friday. We had a tenant who is actually in arrears, who owes about 2 months worth of rental arrears. That's pretty much the equivalent of about £1,200. So their room rate is £600 a month. What happened was I actually deal with rent arrears, so I like when I do when I look at the books, I look at the accounts and I see who has paid and who hasn't paid. It gives me an idea of how well we're performing and or not performing. So and when we're not performing, it's usually down to 2 reasons. One is a tenant isn't paying, or a few tenants aren't paying, or 2, it could be because we have some voids. So we've got some empty rooms and they haven't been filled yet. It's usually the first case where we have rental arrears. It's not normally the voids, because we are pretty good at filling rooms. So yeah, going back to this particular tenant, we had a tenant who was 2 months in arrears, or is 2 months in arrears. And we have a specific procedure that we follow, where we just take emotion completely out of it. The moment a tenant is late on their rent, we follow a protocol. So it's basically phone call, voicemail, text message, email, and then something called a letter before action, where they have literally 7 days to get in touch with us. If they don't, we just go straight for an eviction. And also a money claim online. So we pass them on to enforcement and debt collectors. So we really put the pressure on. If they don't respond, that usually them up. anyway, and they get in touch all of a sudden and just give us their excuse. But don't get me wrong, there are people that obviously do go through some hardships. We are there to help, but it's still not fair. We still need to, we still got a business to run and we still need to get paid. So it does need to be somewhat fair. So with this particular tenant, they obviously received a communication from us within the what we call the rental arrears procedure, and that they responded straight away. Fortunately for us, they actually made a decision that we would have pushed for anyway. Rather than keeping a tenant that can't pay, we try and convince them to leave, really. I think it's usually in their best interests. There's no point of them paying for a room that they can't afford. So this particular tenant actually emailed on Friday saying, I'll have my stuff, I'll have the room empty by the weekend and I'll leave the key behind. So hey, good news. It just saves me a ton of money on eviction costs. It saves me a ton of money on losing more money because they can't pay anyway. So as we speak, this, like I've said in previous episodes, the first thing I do every week, at the beginning of every week, is look at my KPIs, look at how we are doing in the business. And the first thing I look at is how many voids do we have, who's paying and who aren't paying, who needs to be chased. And in terms of the operational stuff like gas certificates and upcoming certificates that need renewing, that's more for our property manager. I do usually keep an eye on it every now and again, but to be fair, I actually don't need to, because Melissa does such a good job of keeping on top of everything. In fact, if anything, I feel that Melissa is more proactive with me and asks me questions or things that need to be done. So if anything, I'd probably slow her down. But yeah, I found this morning that we've got 2 empty rooms. Melissa had already sent an email to our tenant finding service, so we actually outsource the tenant finding to a local agent. They're very, very good. We've been working with them for a very, very long time, and we just work so well together. So shout out to them, you know who you are. We as of this week, we have 2 empty rooms. We do have 3 more upcoming rooms coming up this month, so we are looking at a lot of voids. So what we tend to do is be proactive, so we start advertising now, and we do viewing straight away. With the existing tenant staying there as we speak, we actually get in touch with the tenant, or our tenant finder gets in touch with the tenant, arranges viewings, and try and minimise those void periods. So yeah, that's pretty much what's happened today. In terms of tomorrow, so one thing I actually like to do the night before is plan my to-do list for the following morning or the following day. It just gets me ahead in the morning. It takes the thinking out, and as soon as I wake up, do my normal morning ritual and just flow with whatever I've got written down. So essentially tomorrow I'll be tidying up my emails. I need to start getting the remortgaging process going because I'm falling behind on that. I mentioned that in the previous episode. We've got a couple of remortgages that need to be done, so I'll probably start the ball rolling with that with our broker. So broker, if you're watching, it's most likely we've probably already contacted you. These episodes go live a lot earlier than they actually happen. Yeah, that made no sense. I mean, the episodes go live a lot later than they actually happen. So yeah, emails, remortgage. I'll also be, it's our last day in Salvador tomorrow. We then take a bus in the evening. I think it's a 12-hour bus journey, so it's another long bus journey. And we go to our next destination, which is called Recife. Apparently it's a really, really nice place with beautiful beaches, so I can't wait to show you guys those. I'm going to spend the morning just doing some fairly easy stuff, just doing the usual email admin, the remortgages. And yeah, I think that about sums up my to-do list tomorrow. pretty admin focused. Don't particularly like admin focused days, but it's something that everyone has to do, even business owners. So yeah, we'll focus on admin stuff, pretty easy going. I prefer to do more creative stuff and the bigger picture stuff, but that can come later. Let's just get all of this stuff out of the way, because then it stops people bugging me. Also have to send some extra sales invoices for recent works we've done for a few clients, and yeah, very admin, very admin. So that sets us up nicely for tomorrow. We have another guided walking tour planned tomorrow, and then we finish the day off by catching a bus and heading to our next destination. On that note, that's it for Monday, and I will leave you with a little snippet of the theatre show that we just came from. Apologies for the quality of the filming in advance. I wasn't sure if I was allowed to film, so I just did so on the slide using my phone. Hope you guys enjoy it. Check this out. Hey, what is up, guys? It is Tuesday afternoon, around 3:30, and today we decided to not go to do the walking tour. It turned out to be the same as yesterday after reading the description of it after. So yeah, I just decided to just catch up on work all morning, and I feel like I'm in a very good place. I'm very happy. So yeah, all of my admin work, as I mentioned yesterday, all my admin work is all caught up, all emails, and that's like the best thing ever because it just gives me a bit of clarity. It's like having a clear desk. If you've got a clear desk, you have a clear mind. Same with emails. If emails are clear, you usually have a clear mind. All the sales invoice data have been sent to my accountant, so it's now over to them to process the sales invoices to our existing clients, get the invoices sent over to them, and we can get paid. So the issue with the ceiling that fell in one of our HMOs last Friday, although we got it repaired on Saturday, I had to catch up with Melissa, our property manager, this morning, and she actually kind of got through to me. I was kind of being a bit stubborn, really. I didn't really want to pay for any of the tenants' belongings, but there's a couple of things that I found out mistakenly, unbeknown to him. What he did was he threw the mattress out because it was wet, and obviously that mattress was quite an expensive mattress to this particular tenant. So we're going to have to replace it with a like for like because we didn't supply the mattress. She actually asked to bring her own mattress, which is absolutely fine. So yeah, I'm going to replace the mattress. There's a couple other belongings that needed to be replaced, like a pillow, which obviously got damaged through the leak that occurred. So yeah, a bit more sympathy is a lesson learnt for me. But yeah, this is what we do day in, day out. We keep growing. So just to be clear, these we would have replaced the mattress and the pillow anyway through our existing supplier, but this particular mattress was a specific back injury mattress for this particular tenant, so we have to show a bit of sympathy there and replace it with the exact mattress that she had purchased herself anyway. Same with the pillows, that were quite specific to whatever her condition is, whatever injury is. So we'll do that. We'll do that right away. In other news, so in terms of operations and the day-to-day management, we have a client got in touch with us, and they actually have a tenant moving out. It's a property that we manage. Tenants leaving in like July. The issue is there's some mold issues. It's not as bad, but you can see that there's some sort of damp issue there in a particular flat. So the client was actually asking whether we could actually deduct that from the tenant's deposit, because there could be a possibility that the tenant wasn't upkeeping the maintenance of kind of removing mold. I mean, damp does occur. Now, if damp occurs because of lack of ventilation or lack of wiping and just generally upkeeping the place, then it can be the responsibility of the tenant to fix. Hence why you take a deposit as security, and then whatever the cost is to rectify it, you can just deduct it from the deposit. In this particular case, we actually had to look at the inventory that we do. An inventory, for those that are new to property, is a specific report that shows the condition of the property just before the tenant moves in, or on the day of the tenant moves in. And in this particular case, it actually showed that there was mold, a damp smell, which means damp was present. So it's actually to no fault of the tenant. So we've just advised the client that it's not really in your favour, and the issue was present before the tenants moved in. So not really wise to deduct from the deposit. So that's that. So that's it from a property maintenance side of things. Otherwise, it's generally quite quiet. Another thing that is another win for me is, I mentioned in yesterday's video that we have a specific process for people that don't pay rent, and that process is designed to get communication out of the tenant and hence payment. So having looked at my inbox this morning, there was a whole load of tenants that actually responded, at least 5 to 6, which in my opinion is quite a lot. I think just one tenant not paying is more than enough in itself anyway. But yeah, 5 to 6, I think it's you know, we're talking about £500 to £800 per room. You know, it can vary. And if 5 of those tenants aren't paying, that's quite a lot of money. You're looking at £4 to £5 grand a month. So it means a lot to us. So we have to be really on the ball with this process. And yeah, it was. I'm happy to say that we had a load of responses in my inbox this morning, and lots of payment plans. So we should be able to see the monies that we've potentially lost to recoup and come back over time. In other news, actually there was another maintenance issue, and rather an annoying one. It's I don't know what it is with our portfolio recently, but we all seem to be having some sort of ceiling issue or leaking issue. So the tenant that I mentioned that moved out over the weekend, our caretaker went in to inspect the room and have a look, and yeah, for some reason the coving on one of the walls had fallen off, and a bit of the ceiling wallpaper had fallen off. So it's an old property, and sort of old style property where the ceiling have those thick wallpaper. It's not Artex, it's just like a lining paper. And yeah, there's half of the ceiling paper seems to be completely off, completely stripped off. Tenant didn't seem to want to report that, so you know, if we're not aware of it, we can't do anything about it. Absolutely ridiculous. Anyhow, that's a job down to our caretaker who repair the ceiling, and we can dress the room, stage it, and get new tenants in ASAP. In terms of other operation stuff that I've been working on today, for those that don't know, I also have a trades company where we supply construction expertise and also cleaning. So yeah, that might be news to you guys. Technically, we offer cleaning services. We have the resources, so it just makes sense to provide that service to everybody else. We don't have enough work to keep our full-time staff busy, so we get more work. It just means more sales, more money. So we had to, this morning I had to order new supplies. We were running low on stock, so I had to just replenish the stock so that we can continue to get our guys to clean the various properties and commercial properties. So yeah, another bit of good news today. So we did have a room coming up that was going to come up on the 10th, which is today, and it turns out the tenant wants to reside, wants to stay put and not move out, which is great. It just saves us a whole lot of time and a whole lot of money. Very happy with that. It's one less headache. So that's it for Tuesday morning / afternoon, and I think it's time for me to get out of this apartment and do a bit of last minute exploring, because today we leave Salvador and we head to a place called Recife, which is sort of North Brazil, where they have amazing beaches. In fact, they have one of the dangerous beaches in the world there. Apparently there's more shark attacks on that beach than any other beach in the world. Looking forward to seeing that. What's happening, guys? Tuesday evening, and got held up in a bit of traffic, and unfortunately we've missed our bus, so we've booked another bus. It's 9:30 now. We have to wait here until 12. Actually, we've booked for any cancellations. Hopefully someone cancels on the 12 o'clock bus. If not, we'll have to wait till 6 in the morning. So it's going to be a long night. I'll probably do another video just to keep myself sane. Wish me luck. Unfortunately, 12 o'clock bus is a no-go. We have no vacated seats. So we're going to have to wait and stay put in this bus terminal until 6 o'clock. The bus is coming from Sao Paulo, so it might be 6 o'clock, it might be later, we'll see. So yeah, I'm gonna try and stay awake. I can't really get comfortable in these seats anyway, to be fair, and the other side of me is also not wanting to sleep as well, just to keep an eye on the stuff. I mean, everything is all locked anyway. We've actually got like something called a pack safe. It's a portable safe. Completely recommend it. In fact, I'm going to put a link in the description for a link to where to get this from. It's called Pack Safe. It's branded by Pack Safe. It's a bag that you can't actually pierce with a knife, and it comes with a key lock and a metal strip that you can tie around anywhere, so nobody can actually run off with it. So the idea is to tie it to something secure, like a pipe or a bench. But even still, just feel a bit wary. I mean, there are security guards around, so I don't think we'll have any problems, but it's just seriously uncomfortable. My wife is conked out. I won't show you her because she'll tell me off in the morning. But yeah, I have to say, I'm sitting here just listening to music, and it's times like this where the greatest ideas just form in your head. Really, really weird, and it's something I've mentioned before, and something I always talk about. It's these moments of silence where the greatest ideas are created in your head, and it really excites me. I really like times like this. I mean, I do like my bed as well, but it's times like this where you can do some serious thinking, and I can't help but think it's something. I don't know whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, but I thought I'd share that with you guys. I guess quite passionate about business, and the amount of ideas that go through my head at the moment. Interesting stuff. Can't wait to implement these things, because I mean 99% of it is, 1% of it is dreaming of it and thinking of it and then planning it, but then the 99% is actually executing the plan and getting it done. So anyhow, I will leave it at that, and let's see if this bus comes on time at 6 o'clock in the morning, and hopefully we can actually get some rest on this bus. So it is a first class seat, so we can there is basically a bed on the bus, so let's see how we go. It is a long journey, and on top of that we've got to wait 6 hours for the bus if it arrives on time. It is Wednesday evening, and we are back at the same apartment we were at before. We actually missed the bus for the second time. To no fault of ours, apparently the bus came right in front of us, apparently, and we didn't see it. I have a feeling it was at a different platform and they just didn't inform us, so we had to wait an extra another 12 hours for another bus. So the one at 6 o'clock in the morning, so the first one at 12 o'clock, they had no vacancies, which we kind of knew wasn't a guarantee anyway. And then we had the actual bus at 6 o'clock booked, so we were sitting at the platform waiting for the bus. And when I say bus, it's like a massive coach thing. And yeah, it didn't see anything at 6 o'clock, so no idea what happened. So I went upstairs to the the kiosk, spoke to the guys, and they were like, yeah, it came, we were there, didn't you see us? I'm like, no, we did not see you. So we ended up missing that bus, and unfortunately the next bus was at 8:30. So it's now 6 o'clock and we're not taking any chances. We're leaving now. The bus terminal is only about a 20-minute drive from here, but we are not taking any chances. Fortunately, this apartment was still available, so we booked it for an extra few hours. I didn't sleep a wink yesterday. Obviously I couldn't. I was thinking too much. It was... so I ended up just coming back here, sleeping, and just woke up a few hours ago, had a bite to eat, and we are going back to the terminal. So let's see how we go. I actually managed to check a few emails and had a a few meetings with the team, and I will let you know what's going on soon because I need to rush and make sure I don't miss this bus. See you soon. What you do. So I personally think, you know, once the video is done and I've done the watch through and I'll say, yeah, I'm happy with the episode, are you able to, even if I give you access to the YouTube channel, are you able to upload it? Because I think your instinct should probably be better. What's happening, guys? It is not Thursday, it is Friday, and the clip that you just saw earlier was me having a meeting with our video editor. We were just actually discussing episode one, and bear with me, I'm just making sure I keep a lookout because we are on the beach heading towards sunset, and they do say be wary, so I've discreetly put the camera where it's hidden, apart from me actually looking like I'm talking to myself. Anyway, the clip that you saw was of me talking to, having a meeting with our video editor. Shout out Adrian, plug. And we were actually discussing the watch through of episode 1. So yeah, as you know, the format is that we record 2 to 3 weeks in advance, so what you're watching right now has probably been recorded 2 to 3 weeks ago. So the meeting I had with Adrian, our video editor, was discussing episode 1. Click here to watch episode 1. So yeah, very good meeting. I'm very excited about these YouTube episodes and this whole YouTube series. I'm sure by the time you watch this, we're probably well into the series anyway. I think we're recording episode 3 now, I think. But yeah, the meeting was actually about episode 1, our first actual video of the series. And yeah, very good. Adrian's very talented. He just knows, he just gets it. So and we have a really good vibe between us, and we work really well together. So shout out Adrian. In other news, the reason why I didn't shoot any content yesterday is because we've had a rather eventful last 48 hours. So we have now arrived in Recife, which is like North Brazil. Really nice beaches. We're on the beach right now. Apparently this beach is one of the most dangerous beaches in the world. There's actually bull sharks in there, hence why you don't see anyone swimming in the actual sea. Apart from that one person over there. But yeah, apparently it's there's bull sharks. There's actually signs in front of the beach to warn you, to say don't go in the water. So must be serious stuff. Anyhow, it's getting dark very quick, so I'm going to just quickly do this content as quickly as possible and finish up, and then we can take it somewhere else. So what's been happening today from a business perspective? Today, unfortunately, we have a very sick Melissa. She's unfortunately caught COVID, so wishing her a speedy recovery. Hopefully by the time you're watching this, she would obviously be hopefully all recovered. And on top of that, she's actually off next week on annual leave, so fingers crossed she actually gets to go on she actually gets to go to a holiday. So we actually have Karen filling in for her, so it should be an interesting week, because we still have a lot of ongoing issues that we're dealing with. Today Alan has painted one of the rooms that we have that's vacant. And on Monday Alan then goes to the property where we've had the ceiling collapse, and is actually going to finish painting the room so that we can have the tenant come back to reside back into her normal home. Alan's actually going to look at the bathroom and actually repaint the bathroom, because I think there's a few cracks that have appeared. It usually happens with this new plaster, and over the course of the year, with temperatures and movement, temperature changes and movement, I think I'm getting bitten by an ant. Anyway, yeah, with fluctuation of temperature and movement in plaster, you do get the odd cracks, and you kind of just have to wait like a year, just let the cracks form, and then fill them and paint them again. So in the same property, we're going to just do some painting. Other things that I've been working on this morning, because I missed Wednesday and Thursday, obviously I was completely off the grid. We actually had an issue with a drain in one of our multi-apartment buildings, and yeah, we seem to have what they call fatburger. So fatburger is a term used in London where you have a mixture of food and oils and wipes and tissues all mixed together, blocking your drain, and unfortunately it was blocked solid, so we've had to get the drain jetted out rather than using the traditional rods method, and I'm pleased to say that was done within the hour. So go team, I'm very happy with them. It's good to be able to travel knowing that operationally things are ticking over and working without my input. I actually can't believe how quickly it's gone dark. It's literally gone dark within the last 5 minutes of me recording. Anyhow, this morning, due to the fact that I missed the last 2 days, although I did do a watch through of the content yesterday for episode 1, this morning was going over books, looking at the rental income that's come in, and we seem to have a lot of emails from tenants asking for payment plans, which is good news. There's quite a few tenants still that we are yet to chase. These are tenants that are no longer active, so we're going to start a court process for those, a money claim online process for those, so that we can claim that rental income back. My estimate is we actually are owed about around £140,000 worth of rent in the last 2 to 3 years. Absolutely astonishing, but we're going to start the ball rolling and claim that money back as it's rightly ours. So it's tenants, they can't get away with that. You know, it's not fair for landlords. Landlords still have mortgages to pay for, and it's just not right. So I'm going to get that ball rolling hopefully by mid next week. I have several meetings with my mortgage broker. We have several conference call meetings with my broker. We have several mortgages that need remortgaging. Fingers crossed there'll be no hiccups with us being abroad. Hopefully things can be done remotely. Let's see what happens. So that's it for now. I'll see if I can continue recording back at the apartment. It's getting dark, and I'd rather not draw any attention to myself at this time of night. So catch you soon. What is up? It is Saturday afternoon, and just spent the day on the beach, or the afternoon on the beach. Needed some beach time, and weirdly enough, since actually started travelling, this is actually the first time I'm actually having some good quality beach time. Although I did come yesterday, it was more of an evening thing. So yeah, back on the same beach as yesterday. Our apartment is literally a 1 minute walk away, just a block or two away. And yeah, this morning, what do we do? So it's Saturday today, so although I do have a lot of work to do, the morning started off pretty relaxed and chilled. So this morning I had to go through and amend a couple of things for episode 1. By the time you watch this, episode 1 would have come out a long time ago. And yeah, there was a couple of I mean, due to the internet connection, there was a few clips that I forgot to upload to our video editor. So I managed to do it. We're in an apartment which has a very good connection. It's like 100 meg upload speed, so I'm making the most of that, which is fantastic, because internet connectivity has been very hard since we've arrived, since we started travelling. The Connectivity hasn't been a problem itself, it's just been the speed. So uploading massive amounts of file sizes or videos, it's been taking a very long time, so very thankful of that. We have a guy in front of me cooking some sweet corn, and it smells absolutely delicious, and I'm very tempted to buy some. Really hungry. I'm always hungry. So yeah, this morning was spent was spending time on a few things. So one was me looking at the content for episode 1, and also looking at the content for episode 2. So episode 2 is actually done and dusted as well. This week is episode 3, so just finishing up a few polishing, a few touch-ups on episode 2 as well, and then that'll be over to our amazing video editor. Shout out Adrian. The second thing that we spent time on this morning was planning the next few weeks. So I don't know whether you guys know, I think I may have mentioned this in a previous episode, or even in this episode, I honestly don't remember. But we have a very good friend of mine. It's her wedding in Spain, so we're trying to make plans to head to Spain sort of in June time. So we were looking at our current plan and how we can fit that in. We started looking at flights, and flights were absolutely ridiculous, really expensive from where we're planning to go next. So I may as well just spoil it. In fact, I won't spoil it, I'll keep it a suspense, but where we're going next is somewhere I've been looking forward to since we were planning travelling in the first place back in November. I won't say what it is at the moment, but we are going next week. Comment below if you want to try and guess where we're going. Let me know. As for what happens after that, so we might plan to, after this particular place that I'm really excited about, we're just looking at our options. We could potentially go via Dubai, because Dubai is just like one of the most connected airports to everywhere, and at the moment it seems to be the cheapest. Going from where I said would be a surprise to directly to Spain is coming up very expensive. We're looking at 4 or 5 grand, and yeah, that's just going to blow our budget. So we might just go down the Dubai route, and where we had planned to go to Dubai anyway during this trip to do some skydiving. It looks like we might just push that forward. Comment below if you're looking forward to seeing that. So yeah, that's pretty much Saturday. Like I said, nothing too exciting is happening. It's more of a chilled out day. When I get back, I may just continue working on the content and do a bit more work, maybe catch up for the week ahead, because this particular place that we're going to next week there's no internet connection there. Just a bit of a clue. So yeah, I am just chilling. Actually, well, I actually purchased this tent in the UK before we left. I'll leave a link in the description, but it's brilliant. It's the most it's one of the best things I've invested in. You know, when you go to a beach abroad, there's always costs associated to hiring chairs and umbrellas, and given our travelling schedule, there's going to be a lot of beach time. We're going to be spending a lot of money on, we would be spending a lot of money on chairs and sunbeds and umbrellas. So we thought, so I decided to invest in one of these. Let me show you. It's pretty cool. It actually fits in your suitcase, and you can take it with you. What I'll do is I'll leave a link in the description below, and get yourself one. If you want to go in Southend one day, by all means, take one with you. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Pretty good. What you do is you put a bit of sand to weigh it down, and it fits 2 people. You can get various sizes, but I'm pretty happy. I'm pretty chuffed with it. Go and grab yourself one. Anyway, that's all for Saturday, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Ciao. Sure do love their drums here. And just like that, dawn is upon us. Just having a spot of dinner in the local cafe in Recife. Gotta love the drums. What's happening, guys? Just in an Uber on the way back, and we have our good friend, our Uber driver, who's called Vincent. Who has a brownie business, and he's just trying to sell us some brownies while driving an Uber. Now that is hustling. Say hello.
Hello to everyone.
Vincent, what's your page called on Instagram?
That's my page is Browneria Madalena. Browneria Madalena.
Browneria Madalena.
I'll put that in the description. That's what you call hustling. On that note,